Hey up YouTube. So welcome to Bite Size. Today's video is going to be some simple seed sowing. Not going to really rattle on about how to plant a seed. What I'm going to do is we're going to plant the seeds, and I'm not really going to talk much as I'm doing it. What I am going to do is I'm going to add a bit of voiceover over me planting the seeds, talking about the plant itself, what we're planting, just a little bit. It's only going to be quick. A little bit about the pests that you can expect when growing these plants and the type of environments they like and things to look out for. So without further ado, please like, comment, subscribe and share the video to your friends, family, to other Facebook groups, onto Twitter, Instagram, wherever. Share the video if you like it. And please subscribe and comment down below if there's anything you'd like to see me do in the future. I do have a few things coming up which I'm really excited about. I'm still ironing out some details, but we'll get to that. So yeah, I'm going to move you down there while I roll the credits, and that seems a bit wrong, but anyway, down we go, roll the credits, and let's have a look at what we're going to be planting. Good morning YouTube. So I think we're going to start with the brassicas. Now, brassicas need quite a bit of space. So I've got my usual root trainer here. And what I'll do actually is I'll probably sow most of the brassicas in here in blocks. Certainly the cabbage, the broccoli, and well, probably yeah, all the brassicas, the cabbage, the broccoli, the chard. A lot of people don't like chard. I'm one of them. I'm hoping to be converted. I've had these seeds from Real Seed for a few years now. We grew them 2 years in a row, and they produce a stunning pink variety of chard. It really is stunning. So I kind of grow them as ornate / chicken food. But I'm going to try it again this year, and what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and pick it a bit earlier. In the effort to sort of treat it like beet leaf or spinach. But we'll see. I'm going to grow it. You're going to see it growing. And I'll show you what I mean with regards to the colour when it does grow. I mean, it's stunning. It really is. Always throws me just how much soil it takes to fill these root trainers. And that's nearly half a bag of compost. But I'm not going to deny it, they are very good, especially for things like the brassicas. Okay, so where shall we start? We'll start with the whatever's on top. The cabbage. And there's no reason with your cabbage seeds not to be able to sow them properly. Now I'm going to do, because I'm going to do some block sowings, and I'm going to do 2 cards per item at the moment. But what I am going to do is I'm going to double sow. So my aim is to put, see, this is where having gloves on is a bit of a problem. My aim is to put 2 to 3 seeds per cell. It's a bit fiddly, so I'm going to get this done, and I'll come back to you with the next seed. Okay guys, time for me to take over. We're very quickly going to talk about cabbage planting, pests, things like that. I'm not going to go into it too much, because a lot of the stuff we'll go over when we're putting the actual young plants in the ground. But what we are going to talk about is sowing your summer cabbages. Now these can be sown from early February onwards.
They like firm soil, and it's actually quite important that you don't grow brassicas. So this is going to be true for all of the brassicas, pretty much, if I remember rightly, this entire tray of root trainers. It's quite important that you don't sow them repeatedly in the same place. Always try and aim for somewhere new every time. So just while we're here, we're just going to talk quickly about some of the pests and problems. One we've already sort of talked about, which is club root, which is where the roots become swollen, distorted, then your leaves become pale and yellow, will wilt, and the plants may well die. That's caused by I believe it's a fungus in the ground, causing club root to be an issue. This is why we rotate our plantings. It can be treated, we'll talk about that more at a later time, but your other ones are cabbage root fly, caterpillars, and obviously slugs and snails. They're true of all, as well as birds if they're not covered. So we'll go back over to me in the kitchen to see what the next seed is that we're going to be planting.
Okay, cabbage. And what I'll do, once they're sprouted and they've grown to about 2-3 inches tall, I'll take out the weakest plant and let the strongest grow on. These Sunset F1 seeds are new to Marshalls this year. They are an F1, so they are a bit pricey. I think for 15 seeds it was £2-3, but hopefully they'll be worth it. So let's get these guys in. I'm going to I'm going to try and single sow these guys there. It's going to be very difficult. In fact, I'll be honest, I don't really like the looks of what's in this packet at all. It looks like a right mix up in there. So yeah, I want to just get that on file, just in case, because I can actually only see two or three seeds in there. So I'm going to pour out the entire packet and then we'll go from there. Not a strong start from Marshalls. Just grab a piece of paper. So I'm going to pour this entire packet out. Yeah, folks, I'm not happy about this. I'm going to be sending this clip to Marshalls. I don't know whether they've got crushed, but there is next to nothing in there seed-wise. So, I mean, I'm going to try and salvage what I can. I think I'm going to be lucky to get 4 seeds out of this lot. A plant label. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on what happens with these. And for the price you pay for F1 seeds, you want your money's worth. So think and also that last one, because that last seed didn't seem, and that's it. There is no more seeds in there, or no more whole seeds. So it looks to me like the packet got crushed. So yeah, I'm going to be contacting Marshalls about that. I'll keep you posted on what they say. So we've managed to get a measly 4. Let's say, with it being an F1, you know, that's all you're going to get. You can't save seed from them. They will not germinate to be a true representation of what you sowed. So yeah, upset about that. I'll contact them, see what they say. They're normally very good. So next up, I've got my second sowing of broccoli, Green Magic. So I think I'm going to put plenty of this in then. I'm going to do it 2 full rows. Now the drawback normally of sowing like this is that of course you need to wait for the entire tray to germinate, but obviously the books are modular, and provided you've got some empty books knocking around, you can just swap out, if you need to, any that are ready for planting. So I think once again this is an F1, that's all the broccoli seeds remaining. But with this being an F1, should only need to single sow.
Back again, folks. So, quick word on broccoli. Same pests really as cabbage and cauliflowers. I mean, they're all the same family, so that stands to reason. So they suffer from the same club root affliction. That is treatable, by the way. We will be talking about it more in depth in brassica problems, which I am going to cover in its own bite size. But just a quick one on broccoli. If you're not using an F1 variety, I am this time. It's called Green Magic. I think I forgot to show the packet. It is best advised to sow 2 seeds per module. What that will enable us to do is prick out the strongest of the 2. Basically, the germination rates on some broccolis can be quite low. Obviously, F1 tends not to be the case, but yeah, just a little side note for you guys out there. When planting broccoli, plant 2 to 3 per module. Remove the smaller 2 when the plant is about 2 inches tall.
Now the chard, the seeds actually want to go quite deep, about 1.5 inches deep, about 1 inch deep I think it is.
Back again, guys. Chard, to correct myself, 1/4 inch deep, so roughly about half the size of your little finger, so about twice the depth of the seed thickness for the chard. Now chard prefers a well-drained soil in full sun. It can tolerate light shade. It is relatively hardy as well, which is why I'm sowing it early. You can plant directly in the soil. Mine are going in raised beds because my soil is so heavy. Doesn't really have any pests that are unique to it, other than, as I discovered many times, chickens will devour it, and slugs and snails. So yeah, birds, slugs and snails. Doesn't really have any main diseases. It's pretty hardy. It's pretty damn good. So back to me in the kitchen. Okay guys, just quickly going to step back in again. Just sped this bit up really. I mean, all I'm doing is covering the seeds back over, giving them a water in, as you would with any other seed. Then I put them in a gravel tray as I do, and then I propagate a lid on them. So moving on to the next set of seeds.
Just going to use these. I mean, these are really old. Hopefully I can actually separate them. For lettuce and the shallots that I'm going to sow, because what I'll do with the shallots is I'll sow sort of 3 or 4 per cell in the opposing corners, and that will hopefully help matters in the long run, because it'll take up less space and things like that. But lettuce, I will aim, and I'll say I'll aim because, as you'll see in a minute, lettuce are quite small seeds. Normally, actually, I'd broadcast sow them and prick them out. But trying to keep things a bit neater this year. God, this compost is very wet. So it's been sat in my greenhouse for nearly a week. More than a week. I got it when I got the seed potatoes. So they're filled enough.
Then lettuce, marvel of 4 seasons. Grows all year round, grows 12 months a year. It's great. It's a standard lettuce. It's nothing to write home about flavour department wise, but it does mean you can have a lettuce green all year round. It will grow in a polytunnel, under cover, in a cold frame, and in a greenhouse all through winter. It will grow slower, and it does need protection from the frost, but it will grow all the way through the year. It takes about 60 days from germination to full maturity, and it does generate a nice medium-sized head of lettuce. So back over to Russ.
Now, whilst I think on, I want to talk about something that, well, I was going to talk about something in quite a lot of depth, but Joe from Digging for Dinner has just done a video on what I was going to discuss in today's vlog. So what I'm not going to go over it again. I'm going to suggest you search for Digging for Dinner's channel and you watch his video that he put out. I think it actually went out last night, which would be I won't say the 20th of January. I'll correct myself in the text. If it's not the 20th of January, there'll be some text popping up on the screen saying when it was. And what it is about is when to sow seeds, because he, the same as I, noticed that a lot of people, some YouTubers and influencers were saying things like, oh, I'm sowing my tomatoes, but not really talking about it that much. So, and I noticed the same as he did, that this was happening. And what the people that can sow things like that this time of year, they have special equipment. They have heated greenhouses, they have heated propagators, they have the space to maintain these plants until it is time to sow them out. Because bear in mind, your tomatoes, cucumbers, things, you know, all the main crops that everybody wants to grow, don't go out until end of last frost. Now for me, that's mid to late March. You'll notice that all I'm sowing here is onions and brassica, and yes, alright, a winter hardy lettuce, but that is specifically for this time of year. You know, I wouldn't be sowing iceberg, for example. So yeah, check out his video. I'm not going to go on about it any longer. Tell me, are these loose? I don't think they are. Yeah, check out his video, and you know, remember it when you're thinking, oh, I need to plant this, that, and the other. You don't. You've loads of time. There are things you can plant now, but once again, as I've already said, that if you've got the space to maintain these plants until it is time to sow them out. You know, I'd love to sow tomatoes now. I love to see tomato plants growing. It tells me that spring and summer is coming. But I won't do mine until, at the earliest, late February. I would rather sow them in March. They don't need an unusually long season. There is no reason to plant them early. So don't panic, guys. You've got loads of time. Not as many seeds in here as there's supposed to be. Supposed to be upwards of 75 seeds in here, but I'll be surprised if I fill this tray with my plan of 4 per cell. Like I say, yes guys, this is fiddly. It is. I'm not going to kid you. But it is time well spent. If you take your time on your sowings now, the less time you'll have to spend thinning out and things like that.
Okay guys, so just quickly going to talk about shallots. The shallots I'm planting here are a variety called Ambition. They are F1, so they are not white rot resistant, downy mildew resistant. I think they're also leaf miner resistant. But that's just wanted to quickly touch upon some of the main problems that you can have with alliums, with shallots in particular in this instance. You've got onion white rot, which is a soil-borne fungus. Lots of people talking about this last year. I think it was a problem for a lot of people with regards to sets. No real rhyme or reason to it. It's just one of those things. It seemed to be a good year for onion white rot. You also have onion downy mildew, which is pretty similar to white rot, but it affects the foliage as well as the bulbs, and you'll see sort of a fuzz on the foliage above the level of the soil. So keep an eye out for those things. Downy mildew can be solved by just increasing your air circulation. Onion white rot, there is no chemical fix for it at the moment that is available to us out there. So back to Russ.
So just going back to those cauliflower seeds just briefly. I'll email them as soon as I go over to get this footage onto the PC, and if they've come back to me, they're normally pretty quick. If they've come back to me, I'll put the update either in the description, or I'll try and do a Russ from the Future addition into this video, because it is only fair. You know, I will always tell you about the bad, but I feel that people, especially YouTube platform, they use things to tell people about the bad and not so much the good. I will always try to do both. I think it's important, you know. We live in a world that everybody's very quick to discount people, but nobody's very quick to praise somebody where it's due, which is all the more evident in the state of the general mental health of the population. You know, if we're all getting our just rewards, and sometimes that can be as little as a pat on the back for a job well done, I think the country would be a much happier place. But that's what really grinds my gears. How about we just have a little conversation? What gets on your nerves about the world today? I don't want to hear about Brexit or the royals, or you know, things like that. I want to hear what affects you personally. What gets you down? What do you think we could do better as people? You know, one of the things that I'm trying to do with Conversation Shed is I'm trying to be not one man and a YouTube channel. and it's race to get monetized and get free stuff and get sponsors. That's not what I'm aiming to do here. And it has never been the aim of Conversation Shed to get to that point quickly. The aim of Conversation Shed has always been to build a network, a community, a place for support, a place for information and learning, and a place to come and chill out and relax. Put the videos on, have a cup of coffee or tea or a beer. You might be sat in the pub watching my videos for all I know. Support your local. I'm an ex-landlord. Anyway guys, that's a few seeds sown. Once again, I know a lot of you guys out there want to scratch that grower's itch. Sorry, I'm just remembering what Paul said about me saying that. Like I said earlier on, by all means there are things you can plant now. But you need to be aware, especially when you're watching these big YouTubers. Muddy Boots is one, but he does talk about it a little bit. He's just put his tomato seeds in, but I can't stress enough, watch his whole video, because he's putting them in a heated propagator in a greenhouse. He's got at least 1 or 2 allotments that he's shown on his videos. He has the space to maintain these young plants. You and I, maybe you're a garden grower, maybe you're a single allotment owner. Unless you're very lucky or have a very understanding partner, like I do, we don't have the space for these seeds to sit and mature for 3 months. I mean, by the time, if I was to plant tomato seeds tomorrow, by the time March, April time rolls around, when my threat of frost has passed, they're going to be 2-3 feet tall. Not only is that going to have cost you a lot in compost, because you're going to have to pot them on, but it's probably going to cost you a lot in seeds, because you're probably going to lose half of what you've sown, because maintenance on that in the home environment, unless you've got a particular setup, you're going to lose them. So don't panic guys, seriously don't panic. There is stuff you can put in now if you want to plant something. Your brassicas can go in now. Your broccoli, don't forget about that, it takes 9 months to mature. So get it in. Don't put it in a heated propagator. In actual fact, best practice, according to RHS, best practice for any brassicas that you sow now is to put them somewhere cool. Maybe under a bit of fleece in the greenhouse. Not to stop the germination. Germination should still happen, but certainly to slow down the rate at which these things grow, because while ever they're warm, they're going to shoot up, they're going to be searching for the light that their genetics tells them should be out there. If a plant is at 18, 19, 20 degrees in the soil, it's thinking it should be getting 12, 15, maybe even up to 18 hours a day sunshine, and it's going to be searching for that. That's how you end up with leggy plants. So slow your roll guys, pick your sowings carefully. If you do want to sow something, there is stuff you can sow now. Don't sow hundreds, plan on doing successional. So like my broccoli, I'm going to go get another packet of those seeds. In fact, no, not the broccoli, cancel that. The lettuce, I didn't sow much of that. There'll be a second sowing of that, which obviously I'm not going to record, you've seen it done now. But there's going to be a second sowing of that going in maybe in about a month's time. That means that sort of I will have eaten what I've grown, and by the time I've eaten those, the next set will be ready. So slow down, watch what you're doing. So please like, share and subscribe to the videos. I've got lots of things coming up in 2020. I have a big build project, hopefully. Depends a lot on finances. I'm still out of work due to my back. So a lot depends on finances, but hopefully, I might as well tell you, the big build hopefully is going to be how to DIY a hoop house or polytall. And I'm aiming for quite a large one. I'm aiming for about 20 foot long by about 9 foot wide. More importantly, about 7 foot tall, with me being 6'2", and with a bit of straight siding to it. And it's like I said, the plan is how to DIY it. I'm going to build it around my existing one. So my existing one eventually will become a frame, either for the vines that I've got in there, like the kiwi or the grape, or that'll come out and it'll become a brassica cage. I don't know yet, we'll see. You know, a mobile brassica cage, I'll just wrap it in some scaffold netting. But for now guys, that is all. I'll see you on Sunday. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Please comment down below if there's anything you'd like me particularly to cover in these bite-sized episodes. They are aimed at getting information out there for you guys. I just think at this time of year there are some more important announcements, like stop sowing tomatoes. I'm kidding. If you've got the space, grow them. I'm going to shut off because I don't think that noise is going to stop. I think it's the workman. So I'll see you later. In fact, no, I'll see you in a bit.